Well, hello everyone. Earlier today I saw Mickey 17, the newest film from Bong Joon-ho, which stars Robert Pattinson, Mark Ruffalo, as leads in a very talented cast. And while being up my favorite film that the director has done, it is certainly one that's worthy of his oeuvre, and I can definitely say, from what to get into, looks like he did get Final Cut after all. So, let's begin. In the not too distant future, somewhere in time and space, 2054 to be precise, is with the planet facing an increasing amount of economic and environmental instability. A, a, a young man named Mickey, played by Robert Pattinson, and applies to be part of an expendable on a mission to colonize the distant planet Nilfheim. Of course, he did not read the application carefully, so that also entails it was not only him dying in increasingly creative and often gruesome ways, but he also gets his body they reprinted with his memories, and as shown in promotion alone, that definitely is one that wreaks havoc with his psyche. And he also comes across his successor, Mickey 18, and when he narrowly survives an encounter with Nilfheim's native wildlife. Basically what I would call like an Arctic equivalent of the sandworms from Dune, the Dune cycle. I actually would not mind having Rob in a future adaptation of the cycle, because of this. And and this results in them being done multiples, which, due to a series of heinous crimes committed by the first of their kind, is punishable by death, by the order of Ruffalo's whose, whose mission commander, her Marshal, which is his name, and his demeanor, the idea of someone bankrolling a mission like this from private sector after Washington doesn't work out is really not a stretch anymore. Make your own assumptions, but this is a director who, as I mentioned before, does not pull punches in his view of society. He, and a view of where it could be headed based on where we are at right now. Oh, and not only could we have fast and light travel in our lifetime, but I can definitely say that yes, there are people who would absolutely take advantage of the underprivileged and these kinds of clone technology if they could, of course. Yeah. The movie is, of course, as I come to expect from this director, visually stunning. I know that he's been able to work on relatively modest figures before, but he just goes all out with all nine figures he has at his disposal. Budget well above $110 million. Whereas it came down from initial estimates and incentives, and he's not the first director to express his mindset, but it's actually, regardless of the quality of the work itself, it is one I actually appreciate when it comes up as a way of saying, fudge what the market is doing. I want to make something that's what I want to make, the way I want to make it, and I always appreciate when, even in the current state of WBD, when they roll the dice on something like and it's definitely not a film which is for the easily weak of heart or indeed stomach, but it definitely is an ideal mix of horror, science fiction, and dark comedy that I can expect from this director. And it's definitely one that also shows off how far Rob has come as a performer since his teen heartthrob phase, and he's willing to take risks on projects like this. And also, I'll say, is a better usage of the two actors playing the same character, two the two characters play the same actor on screen than the Flash was, like how. But it's a similar technique where shooting the scene twice with a double wearing the actor's clothes and then giving a digital system a volume to make it look like they're sharing the same space. And I also really like how creative the final scene is with the stampeding, eating creepers, as they call it. Let's just say we're not talking about that one that fought Scooby Doo at that time either, at all. Standouts of supporting cast include Naomi Aki, who's a performer I've liked for a while now, and also who, in the case of Steve Yeun, when he's not taking on more and more roles of Invincible, all which I have not seen, but at least understand the appeal of it definitely shows how effective he is, and I definitely he he might consider doing a spoiler review whenever this comes online, which depending on how well this does, I mean it's not doing huge numbers by any means, but for the director and genre, I mean, I'd never expect one like this to do massive numbers, but whenever it does do modestly well, it typically takes to 10 and it's well received, which it has been so far. I like the RT and IMDb scores are reasonably good. I have not checked at Metacritic yet, but I don't imagine it'll be for about a couple months, the earliest. I mean, at the very least, it'll be the usual 45 days, at minimum. Um, but still, oh, it's not the only movie I'm gonna be talking about this month, and also want to make clear that even though I'm interested in the next one with Jack Quaid in it, and as I post on my community tab, I might be seeing that one, I might not. It's all gonna depend on what my budget looks like, being casually blunt. And the off chance I don't see it right away, I will be having a backup plan or several in mind. I mean, tomorrow I'm still gonna talk about Moongo finale before I put everything into the 350 subscriber special. Oh, and you have to forgive me if this isn't my longest video ever, especially since I was at my grandmother's virtual celebration of life earlier today, and my special dedicated to her. But I will say this: even seeing an over-the-top, delicately humorous, violent science fiction auteur film like this is going to be helping with the grieving process. Just around a month after finding out my grandmother passed. Bottom line, Mickey 17 is definitely another strong entry in the director's who's Auvert, and another strong case of how Rob has really managed to raise his stock and status as a performer. Even with the comparisons people are raising, I would say he and Reeves can take all the time they need with part 2 of the Batman. As far as I'm concerned. Right, and I'm also will have to look into like the original novel, Mickey 7 as well. And that's one of the things that's helping keep me sane during all this frou-frou, really expanding my reading as well. So let's just say that I got a lot more mileage out of the fiction than non lately, though that's not to say I'm not against the idea of pursuing more. It is a visually stunning, often mind-bending and thought-provoking movie that I definitely think everyone should check out at least once. Even if you haven't seen other films this director before, I would recommend doing so, just in case, so you know what you're in for. My final rating is is a slightly not expendable of a multiple 3.5 stars out of 4, 4.5 stars out of 5, and I will see you tomorrow when I look at the series finale of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Take care, everyone.